important the quarterback position is, they're going to take risks, and if the player's worth it, the market will pay that guy that money. In my mind, there's no collusion that is happening that is saying, oh, the owners they're getting together in their secret Slack channel. I don't know. What are they doing? They're flying all to their private island to talk about what? No, don't let another contract like Deshaun Watson happen ever again. And don't let it happen to Lamar Jackson. I don't think that's what's happening here. Especially in the world that we're in now where your texts are so sensitive, your emails are so sensitive, everything can be stolen immediately, everything can be taken immediately. And people would have facts on this. Look at the Brian Flores case, just a year ago that we had Brian Flores saying, yeah, they were holding me up. They told me they were going to tank and all this kind of stuff, but then you get in and like, okay, well, nothing official came out of this, and there was no true thoughts. Maybe it was talked amongst. Now you're going to tell me 32 of the owners, that was just one owner, 32 of the owners all are keeping this secret, somehow hidden away from everybody that there's collusion. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The easier solution is Lamar Jackson is a hefty price tag to come into an offense that I think most teams aren't ready to have as a quarterback. I don't think they prepare. Lamar Jackson's good. He's really good. But let's go back to the start of Lamar Jackson's career with the Baltimore Ravens. They were Joe Flacco. You talk about the polar opposites of quarterbacking in the NFL. You would have Lamar Jackson here, Joe Flacco over here. It'd be that far apart, especially aging Joe Flacco. And they completely rehauled their team to fit. I mean, Harbaugh would come out and say, we're changing everything. We're changing it all to fit Lamar Jackson. They had to do that to their entire team. How many teams are right now ready to bring in a Lamar Jackson and overhaul their entire offensive scheme? Not many. Not many. They can't do it. That is a hefty load. That is a hefty load that you're going to have to try to maneuver around and change and fix. So I think people are putting the cart way ahead of the horse when they're saying, Lamar Jackson's getting screwed from the NFL league. No, I don't think so. I don't think he's getting screwed any more different than every other player that's ever been in the NFL is getting screwed. Now, could teams use somebody like that? Yeah, absolutely, but it's going to be a retool. You're going to retool your entire offense to fit this. You're going to change your entire scheme. You're going to change your entire approach to everything that you're doing because his style is a running quarterback style, which really there's not many other league teams that have that. You have Josh Allen, one of the Buffalo Bills. They use that, but even there's a few designed run plays, but mostly it's, Josh Allen's just able to take off in the pocket. Patrick Mahomes, kind of the same thing. There's not really any designed run plays, but Patrick Mahomes can just tell when time to go, time to run, But Lamar Jackson's style, more of a college style, if you will, that's just not in the league. It's not in the league. So I don't think people are getting messed up. I think it was just timing also with the Daniel Jones thing. Daniel Jones getting $40 million guaranteed. If that tells you anything about the market, that should tell you more about the market than Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, at least, is a top-tier quarterback, or at least at one point was. Mm-hmm. Lamar Jackson, an MVP. If Daniel Jones is getting $40 million, what do you think those guys are probably asking for? Probably in the $60 million.
I can't even imagine. It's definitely upward. It's definitely middle 50s, I think. $60 million is crazy to me.
It's crazy.
If that's the direction it's going, I mean, it's only going to go higher.
It's going to get there.
I know that.
Because the NFL's making more money.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's not like these owners are like sitting there like, well, how are we supposed to pay you? We don't have the money. No, you do. Amazon's dropping billions, not millions, billions into your league.
Do you truly think that Lamar Jackson is worth $60 million a year?
No, I don't. And I think he is wanting that, but no.
Yeah.
I don't. I think that's probably the disconnect. That's the disconnect that we're getting right now.
Because
why he hasn't made a deal.
Yeah, I mean the Ravens completely agree with you.
Well, and they kind of put it to the test, right? They put it to the test and said, "All right, Lamar, we're not," as my mom would say. I don't know if this is actually a word. It's a Southern expression. You may never heard of this. We're not Jihan.
Nope.
My mom would say that. My mom would say, we're not Jihan on something. You won't give us your number's too high, our number's too low. What is it? We can't make it. And you know what they did? They slapped him with a franchise tag, non-exclusive. What does that mean? That means another team can swoop in, and if he really is worth that number, they'll pay him. And you know what the Ravens will say? We'll either match or we'll let you go. We'll let you go. That's what we'll do. And if we're not going to match, then they're going to give us 2 first rounds for you. That's what you're going to get with Lamar Jackson. That's what's happening right now. So the Ravens are saying, fine, we'll let the marketplace decide if you are worth this. And what we heard was a resounding no. I mean, it was immediate how quickly the no's were coming out. The
Falcons were fast.
They were way too fast.
They came out of the gate quick and said, hey, no.
Way too fast, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that some of the no's are tactic. Like I said, they're the buyers in the market. They're trying to get it as low as possible. So, we're out. But secretly, they're probably flying Lamar down to talk with him. Quarterback is such an important position, obviously. It's the hardest position in the game, probably in all of sports. And you got to get it right. There's so many ways to get it wrong with a guy. We've seen that done over and over again. That was actually something we were talking about earlier inside of our group chat, that somebody put together a list of talking about trading up for quarterbacks in drafts. So, the 49ers traded up for Trey Lance. Still a sit and wait. We don't really know what Trey Lance is going to do. My opinion, outlook on it, I don't think he's going to be a starter personally. The Packers traded up for Jordan Love, who's going into his contract year, and they've really not seen anything with him, and they're waiting on Aaron Rodgers right now. The Jets traded up for Sam Darnold, which he's now with the Panthers, and people would put him to the lower end of the starting quarterback list if you did 1 through 32. The Cardinals traded up for Josh Rosen. He's on practice squads. The Rams traded up for Jared Goff. He's with the Lions. I don't think you could say he's bad, but
middle tier.
He did get them to a Super Bowl for the Rams, so I think that one worked out. The Eagles traded up for Carson Wentz. He was good up until he got hurt, and then everything's just been downhill for him. The Broncos traded up for Paxton Lynch. Well, he got cut from the USFL last year. The Browns traded up for Johnny Manziel. He's selling insurance somewhere. The Vikings traded up for Teddy Bridgewater. He's been serviceable in the NFL, so that one worked out. The Jaguars traded up for Blaine Gabbert. He ruined the Titans' season a couple different times, single-handedly. The Broncos traded for Tim Tebow, playing baseball, now out of baseball. Jets traded for Mark Sanchez. That worked out. They got to a couple AFC championship appearances, I believe, or at least playoffs, I know for sure. The Bucks traded up for Josh Freeman. I don't even know who that is.
I don't either.
I don't know who you are. You took everything from me. I don't even know who you are, The Browns traded up for Brady Quinn. What car lot is he working at now, I know he's an analyst. I'm joking.
Yeah.
The Redskins traded up for Jason Campbell. The Bills traded up for J.P. Lossman.
Don't know that one.
Yeah, that name doesn't even exist. Not a person. The Ravens traded up for Kyle Bowler.
Don't know that one.
And the Chargers, obviously famously, traded up for Ryan Leaf, right? You could get the quarterback spot wrong. A name like that it's never going to go. Lamar Jackson was taken in the last pick of the second round. Or was he he was the last pick of first round.
32nd pick.
32nd pick. That's what it was. Last pick of the first round. You can get it wildly wrong. I don't think you can get it wrong with Lamar Jackson. Or will a team pony up and actually pay for it, though? That's what we're going to see. I'll tell you this. Much rather go after Lamar Jackson than Aaron Rodgers. Much rather have Lamar Jackson paying him that money than Aaron Rodgers coming in for a year with the Jets possibly to do nothing, in my opinion.
Jets are good.
Jets are good.
And they'd be even better with Aaron Rodgers.
Would they be better with Aaron Rodgers or would they be better with Lamar Jackson?
I don't know. That's the problem. Because I don't see him being worth $60 million either. There are some quarterbacks that are, but I think there's maybe 3.
I just wonder what his number is. What his number really is.
That's just I don't think that's possible.
It's a lot of money.
That's ridiculous right now.
It's a lot of money. A lot of the green stuff, I think that he is worth the money. I think people are just taking the connections of Daniel Jones getting paid, and they're like, $40 million, so much. It is. But that so much is the median now, I think, for quarterback pay.
I think another issue is that I don't think teams are willing to sign Lamar Jackson to a long-term deal, because I don't think, in my personal opinion, obviously a lot of people think this as well, but like that kind of play style just doesn't last in the NFL.
No.
So getting a Patrick Mahomes $45 million a year over the course of 10 years, I don't think teams are willing to do that with Lamar Jackson, and I don't think they're going to be willing to do $60 million over the course of 4 years.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the problem with him right now, and that whole issue.
It's a lot of money. Titans fans are really clamoring. They want to trade to get Lamar Jackson. It's like, what would you trade the 2 first rounds for Lamar Jackson, or would you trade up to get the first round in this pick? Which one sounds better to go after, either C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, apparently? Which would you rather do?
If you're going to trade picks for Lamar Jackson, it's a good thing he's good on his feet, because he's going to be running for his life.
You're going to pay way less, obviously.
Sure.
With the rookies.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to pay way more for Lamar, because you got to also get him a contract. That's the other thing. He wants to get paid. That's clearly what's up in the air right now. Mm-hmm. He's going to play somewhere. I don't know if he's going to be on the Ravens. I do think a team's going to swoop in and grab him.
I hope it's not the Titans.
I doubt the Titans will. They don't pay people like
no
that. Come on. They don't pay. They wait for guys like Randy Moss, who are like about in with their career, to be like, here, we'll give you veterans minimum to come in. Hey, Julio Jones, things going pretty good. Come on in. This is the best time for us to get Julio Jones. That's what they do. They don't go for the prime talent. Ooh, they got to pay all that money. It's scary. All right. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600. Back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
Good afternoon. It's building pretty good now to the north, up through Madison on 65 northbound, working your way up to Vietnam Vets. Still in pretty good shape right now through the Mount Juliet area. Just watch for radar on both directions, actually 40 east and westbound. Still moving to the south as you make your way down into Brentwood, Franklin, all the way down through Williamson County. Princess Hot Chicken is catering. Check out that menu if you haven't been over there in a while. It's so good. PrincessHotChicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The 6th Annual Mid-State Classic is happening on March 15th at the Ridley Sports Complex in Columbia, Tennessee. And this year it's a doubleheader. For nearly a decade, the City of Columbia Parks and Rec Department has showcased the most highly attended women's college softball matchups in the state. The 6th Annual Mid-State Classic kicks off their doubleheader at 1 p.m. with the Bucks from Motlow State taking on the Chargers of Columbia State. Then at 5:30, the Austin Peay Lady Govs battle the Lady Vols of the University of Tennessee. Tickets to the 6th Annual Mid-State Classics are only $10 and are on sale now. Motlow State versus Columbia State. Austin Peay versus Tennessee. Wednesday, March 15th, starting at 1:30 at the Ridley Sports Complex in Columbia, Tennessee. For tickets and information to the 6th Annual Mid-State Classic, log on to columbiatn.com/Mid-State Classic or call 931-388-8119. That's 931-388-8119. The 6th Annual Mid-State Classic.
Today on Hey Culligan, reverse to reduce. Here's Bob.
Hey Culligan, I love fresh water, but I got plastic bottles coming out.
Whoa, Bob, you are not kidding about the bottles. But did you know Culligan's reverse osmosis and always-on drinking water systems provide fresh, clean, delicious drinking water and help reduce the equivalent of over 15 billion plastic bottles from landfills worldwide?
Holy, fresh, environmentally friendly drinking water. Am I right?
Right, Bob. And we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
They say they'll get your biggest tax refund. Jackson Hewitt says your biggest tax refund guaranteed, and a chance to double your tax refund. Thousands in weekly prizes during the Double Your Refund sweepstakes. Your biggest refund times 2, twice the money, so forget about them. File your taxes on the double at Jackson Hewitt today. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to U.S. residents 18 or older who file a 2022 federal tax return. Promotion ends 4/2/23. Visit jacksonhewitt.com for rules.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro, with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
Golfers, tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from TaylorMade, featuring the Stealth 2 woods and irons. The new Stealth 2 woods combine speed and forgiveness to unlock forgiveness, and the new Stealth HD irons deliver high launch with draw bias to give you the confidence to expect better shots more often. Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, unmatched expertise, unmatched service.
Jim Rome is here weekdays 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio, WNSR.
Give the show a couple of weeks. You're not going to like it. Nobody likes this show the first time they heard it. My wife hated the show. I married her. Give it 2 weeks. If after 2 weeks you can honestly say to me, you know what? I listened every day for 2 weeks, and the truth is, I hate you more now than I did the first day. Then I'm going to be man enough to say to you, you know what? You probably aren't that smart.
Jim Rome, 11 to 2 on Nashville's original sports radio, WNSR.
The show that makes the average person say, hey, I can do that. The Afternoon Stretch.
SEC tournament well under action now. It was fun. It's always fun going there. I gotta say, I'm not a outlandish basketball fan by any means. I enjoy the game. I think personally for me, basketball is always more fun in the last 5 minutes of a game. That's when I want to tune in. But going to the SC tournament in the Bridgestone, always fun. Always fun to me. I have a good time with it. It really, like, as I was sitting in there, I do this every year whenever, it's here. Last year they were in Tampa Bay, I believe, last year. And now they're going to be here in Nashville till like 2030, I believe, is how long they're going to be here doing the SC tournament. It just makes me ponder and wonder, how does Nashville not have a professional basketball team? We talk baseball, we talk, it's got soccer now, which, I mean, hey, 2 sports that we have, people said there's no way they were ever going to survive, right? Soccer, which literally started from the fans, and then hockey, that one, people were at one point trying to get rid of back in like 2006 or whatever year that was. But basketball seems like the most logical one. They do it so right at Bridgestone. It seems so simple. It seems so easy. I don't know. I just think they should have it. I get the Grizzlies are in Memphis, and I love them. I love the Memphis Grizzlies, but Nashville it could definitely sustain a basketball team.
I feel like there's a bigger market for it here than there is in Memphis. I feel like Memphis is one of the smaller market NBA teams.
Right. Well, and for a long time, Memphis was bigger than Nashville. Up until the last, I want to say maybe within the last 10 years.
Not, in touch with the Nashville history here.
But you're right, though, in the grand schemes of NBA teams and NBA markets, Memphis is definitely smaller. And now they have such a history. And I'm not even saying get rid of Memphis, right? Like, create a new one. Have a new team. I've never even heard the discussion. Baseball, I hear the discussion all the time. Get calls, get topics put up. We have, news that breaks and stuff all about baseball and how close they are to bringing a major league team and what they're trying to do. Hear that all the time. Heard that probably for the past 5 years, maybe longer, of it starting to really gain traction and things like that. I never hear any rumblings of a professional NBA team coming here. I don't know if it's just not a want or what, but when I go to the SC tournament, it just looks so good. It looks so fun. It looks so right. It looks great. The fans show up, and I get it's a bunch of fan bases all at once for just a weekend, but still, it's a good time, and they do it well. And the place, the building is there. I just feel like it's more possible than not. I think it would be easier done than an MLB team.
I think there's just much less discussion of an NBA expansion.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if there was any sort of NBA expansion at any point, I think Nashville would have to be mentioned. But other than that, I'm
trying to think of when the last expansion was.
Or what team it was, because I have no idea.
Let's see. 1988. Was it it was 2004. 2004 was the last team. Yeah, you wouldn't remember. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't remember which team it is. you would remember it as Michael Jordan being the owner of it. At the time, it was Charlotte Bobcats.
Yeah.
Now it's Charlotte Hornets.
That's right.
But so I like doing this too. So you had 80s were big. You had a lot of teams expanding in the 80s. So 80, you came in with Dallas Mavericks. 88, Charlotte Hornets, Miami Heat. 89, Minnesota Timberwolves, Orlando Magic. 95, so that was the biggest jump in between those. Toronto Raptors, the Memphis Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2004, so that's a huge jump. You're talking 9 years, right? Charlotte Bobcats. Now we're 2023 without an expansion in the NBA. It does seem like they should be close to coming, right? Like to saying, hey, it's time to get a new expansion team. 2004, we're almost 20 years. I'm trying to see the largest gap since the first expansion team was put in back from 1976. They went back, 61, 66, 67, 68, 70, 74, 76, 80. So there hadn't even been a gap since the league's development of expansion teams larger than 9 years. That was the longest one, 9 years. Now we're almost 20 years. We're 19 years over that.
And there's never even been like that. I've never even heard the slightest discussion in recent years of it either.
I would say Seattle.
Yeah, that's
Seattle's
right.
probably the biggest one. If they were going to do an expansion, it would be Seattle.
Don't go back there.
Yeah, that sucks. Kansas City, maybe. Montreal, Las Vegas. Las Vegas is probably the one.
Vegas.
Las Vegas seems like the prime spot.
Not another like Texas team or anything.
They
already got.
Yeah, they got a good
Dallas,
amount.
Houston. Wait.
Louisville. Big basketball there. Yeah, so it could happen, but it's weird that they haven't. Nashville would be a great spot. Bridgestone's right there. They have the stadium. It's sitting there, and they could just do it. Figure out your schedule. I don't know. That's not my job.
Cincinnati.
My job is to sit here and tell you should do it. Cincinnati. The Cincinnati what? Dribblers? Nobody wants that team.
Skyliners.
The Cincinnati Sugmas. They're
Chili's.
Yeah, the Chili's, the chili beans. That'd be cool.
Straight up.
All right, we need to run to a break. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600.
Good afternoon. We're still looking at this rack up here, and so is everybody else. 65 northbound at Rivergate Parkway. Hopefully it'll be out of here in a few minutes, but all it did was aggravate that heavy traffic now as you make your way up through Madison on 65 northbound. And once you get up to Vietnam Vets, if you can get up through there anytime soon, because it's really slow north of Nashville this afternoon. South, not too bad until you get down and around Spring Hill before 65 South wants to bog down pretty good there around 840. Hey, Snapdragon Hemp, serving up lab-tested, top-shelf hemp products, edibles, flowers, concentrates. Order right now at snapdragon420.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey guys, it's Zach. Gear up for golf at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville during their March golf sale. Swing in and stock up on their huge selection of new and gently used golf gear and equipment. During their month-long March golf sale, you save 10% on all gently used golf clubs. They have the trained staff to help you find the perfect set of golf clubs, a golf bag, golf balls, or a travel golf carry bag for the upcoming season. And they will also buy the golf gear you're no longer using. That's right, every day, all day, you can get cash on the spot for your underused golf gear. They also buy baseball, lacrosse, football, soccer, disc golf, plate weight, hockey gear, and the treadmill that is transformed into a clothes hanger. If you have gear you no longer use or doesn't fit, trade it in for either cash or for store credit towards your next purchase. And you can trust me, not only am I a spokesperson, but I'm a customer. You can always find me in the golf section over at the Hendersonville store. Check out Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. Tell them your friend Zach over here at Nashville Sports Radio sent you. That's Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free online visit. forhims.com/joy.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that'll bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your visit today at baseballhall.org.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
I'm not saying like Derrick Henry's going to be bad. I just don't think he's going to be able to tote the rock 330 times in a season. He did lose a half step. He was getting caught in that second level. And you saw the fumbling. If that's what their plan is, we're just going to go in again on Derrick Henry and figure this out. It just seems like the definition of insanity to me.
The afternoon stretch. Afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Call in now to the afternoon stretch, 615-844-5600, and be the most talented person on the show.
The afternoon stretch. Final moments of the first hour, if you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. Tennessee getting the win over Ole Miss over at Bridgestone today in the SEC tournament, 70-55. Good game there. I believe Arkansas and Auburn are about to get set to go, or if not, they already started. I know it's 25 minutes afterwards. A couple upsets that happened today. Did you see Iowa State got over Baylor? No. Top 10 Baylor. And the I love when the SEC doesn't do that. The SEC doesn't do this. They don't name their tournament. Their tournament's just the SEC tournament. They don't sell the rights to it. Your precious
Buckeyes.
Yeah, you're Big 12 tournament. I was about to make fun of the Big 10, but it was Big 12.
Shame.
The Phillips 66 Big 12 championship. Put it on a t-shirt. Baylor gets dropped by Iowa State. Golly. Baylor. Fraud team.
Ohio State. Not.
They got out-rebounded 44-17.
That's a wild. I've never heard of
You're
that.
A top team?
That's crazy.
Top team in all of college basketball?
You got to figure that out.
Top 10? Okay, pulled out a board? A board against Iowa State? What is that, like one? What's the differential on that?
I can't even run that number in my head, yeah.
That's terrible. I wouldn't do better. But, you know.
I would.
You would? You think you'd be able to snag a couple
I can
boards.
get at least 19.
So, yeah, no, that's bad. That's bad. 44-17 is what it was. That was the differential.
That's awesome.
First hour's done. Second hour coming up. Don't go anywhere.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. In Germany, several people have been shot at a church in Hamburg. In addition to those injured, police say several others are dead. Streets in the area have been blocked off. That story's still developing. Lawmakers are weighing new legislation that could empower President Biden to ban TikTok in the U.S. over spying concerns. At a hearing, the FBI director was asked about his agency's use of data scooped up by social media companies.
This is Jim Ryan. During Wednesday's hearing, FBI Chief Christopher Wray insisted that his agency does not currently buy geolocation data derived from Internet advertising. But
I understand that we previously purchased some such information for a specific national security pilot project, but that's not been active for some time.
He testified that when it is done, a court had authorized the practice.
Spokesperson for the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says he's being treated for a concussion after he fell at a Washington hotel last night. This is ABC News.
It's been tough talking to my doctor about constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. I finally laid all my symptoms out there and how they keep coming back. She said I may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. We agreed it's time to try something different.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Visit a doctor in person or online. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by Abbey and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Welcome to Smashville. Join us at Bridgestone Arena coming up Thursday, March 16th for St. Patrick's Day as your Nashville Predators take on the Chicago Blackhawks. Make sure you purchase the special St. Patty's Day pack. It's presented by Corner Pub and it's available now at NashvillePredators.com/tickets. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. The pack includes 2 tickets to the game, $20 in Nash cash, and $1 lucky 1 Scotch ales at downtown Corner Pub, starting at just $129. Let's go Preds!
It's a Bill King Show.
Pac-12 football is a joke. It's a laughing stock. It has been left behind by Father Time a long time ago. It has not been prominent in a decade at least. And do you want to know why? God-forsaken leadership. That's why.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Bundling car and renter's insurance with Geico is so easy, your neighbors are probably already doing it. But who? Look for the signs. Chances are they live in a home and have a car. They use money and enjoy having more of it. They probably drink lots of lemonade. Lemonade. And they've probably said something suspicious like, "I'm bundling with Geico," or "Stop spying on me with those binoculars." If so, you may want to ask them how easy it was to bundle with Geico. Bundling is easy with Geico. Just ask your neighbors.
Okay, it's happening. It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Let's take some calls from the public, shall we? Join the afternoon stretch now at 615-844-5600. Now here's Bruno and Zach.
Second hour of the afternoon stretch here on Nashville Sports Radio. Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams, here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. If you want to get involved, we want to talk to you. 615-844-5600. That is the number to get in on today's program. And we'd appreciate you calling into the program. That'd be nice. Be real nice of you. Here till 6 o'clock, till the Memphis Grizzlies take over, taking on the Golden State Warriors.
Mike's off. Good luck.
Yeah, that's, I mean.
No Steven Adams for the rest of the season.
We haven't talked about Ja Morant either, hardly.
Because no one knows what to talk. Like, it's just ominous.
It's ominous.
Really eerie.
He clearly was doing very dumb things.
And then Memphis was like, "You're just going to leave for a little bit. And we're going to see if it gets quiet."
Yeah. That's 100% what it is. They're just trying to hide it. Which sometimes it's the best thing to do. Something else will take over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Whenever you're having a bad, like, people that get into social media and all that kind of stuff and say your name, it gets hot, right? The lights turn on and you're getting a lot of attention on social media, whether good or bad. And if you can wait it out a couple days, something's going to happen and everybody will forget about it.
See, right now, Ja, I think, is out after this game for 3 more games or 2 more games. I'm not 100% sure, but he's out for a couple more games.
Yeah.
What then? Do you just?
He's not going to get prosecuted in Colorado.
You sneak him on?
Yeah.
Like, go ahead. Nothing happened.
Play, please, Ja. Just don't go live on your Instagram for a little bit. Can you do that for me?
Put the Casamigos down.
Yeah. Can we not? Can you stop showing your gun?
Yeah.
or whoever's gun that was.
You know those
allegedly
things that, like, you're never ever supposed to do as a professional athlete? It's to not do those.
Y'all just started doing it, man. The guy was like, hey, you know what? They can't stop me. And then it's like, oh, no, wait, they can stop me. All right. We don't have a show tomorrow due to Vandy baseball. I don't think the weather's supposed to be bad either, by the way. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with the weather. But as it stands right now, 4:30 first pitch, and that means 4:15 on air, Andrew Algretta. So we don't have a show tomorrow. So that means we need to get to our Austin Hardy State Farm Keeping It Safe picks.
Time now for the Keeping You Safe Pick of the Week, brought to you by Austin Hardy State Farm Insurance.
The real safe pick, Austin Hardy State Farm Insurance. We'll talk a little bit more about Austin Hardy in just a moment. Let's actually go to the phones first, huh? How about we do that? Let's do that, because we got a caller in, and we put things on, and we want our callers on. Let's do that. Steve felt like waiting to right when we were starting a segment, but look, hey, I'll railroad it. I don't care. Steve in Nashville. Steve, how you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. Sorry about that. I guess
oh, you're good,
I'm not
buddy.
married. Well, I'm not married anymore. Just bad timing in life. Or more reasons than that. Hey,
well, you don't have to go into them, I promise.
Need some therapy session. So the SEC basketball tournament, they just need to make that a Nashville permanent, like baseball is in Hoover. I mean, there's no other city that, I mean, it's so cool. I mean, even though it was all Tennessee fans walking out of the arena, but it's so cool having it down there with everything going on.
Oh, 100%. I mean, they did it in Tampa last year, and I was talking to some people that I didn't go last year to that, and I knew a lot of other media members that didn't go to it, and they did the women's tournament, obviously, here in Nashville last year, but there was so many people who were like, thank goodness it's back in Nashville. It just works. It fits so well into the city, and I mean, obviously Vandy is the SEC team here, but there's such a, there's fans of all of them that are, we're a mosh pot of different teams and fandoms here. So, it works. And the stadium, the Bridgestone is such a good arena for it.
Yeah, man. Hopefully I know it's here a lot, but hopefully they can make it permanent. Do you think once and if the football stadium ever gets built that they would consider moving it, the SEC championship here instead of Atlanta, or is that a permanent Atlanta thing?
Football? Yeah, probably. I think they would. I think they would consider it. I don't know if it's permanent. Obviously Chick-fil-A has a big piece of that, and being in Atlanta and Georgia as it is. I think 100% they would. I know that's been in the plans, especially at least on the NCAA men's tournament for basketball, that, having Final Fours, that was always on the table. And if that's on the table, I would assume that college football championship would be okay to come to Nashville at least 1 year with a brand new stadium, because you really think about it, for the SEC championship, what other stadium in the Southeast, not just, Nashville or Atlanta, but like where is there a stadium that has the indoor capacity that they would need? There isn't one. So if they build that, for Nashville, I would think that definitely becomes an option going forward.
Yeah, I wonder if Jerry, when Texas and Oklahoma join, I wonder if they're going to try to include Jerry's World in Dallas and part of that.
Probably. I don't know if that has like a 10-year contract. I can't imagine it's a forever kind of thing, but I don't know. I don't know if that does have that or not.
I would think it'd be up for bid like everything else. I mean, obviously it's done well. And it's going to seat less, so I don't know if that would play into it. But hopefully they get it done and start building that thing.
Yeah, I was trying to see, so I can't find. I'm gonna figure that out for you, if it's a forever thing that they're gonna have that there or not.
And Vanderbilt tonight, y'all feeling good about the doors? You gonna load up on them, or you think LSU might have their number?
Well, jumping ahead of me here a little bit, but well, that's something we were going to get into with the picks of the week here that we were going to get into. I like Vanderbilt tonight. I like Vanderbilt. I understand that LSU beat them. I can't remember how many weeks ago it was now, but they're going to get their revenge game. I think they're going to really beat down LSU is what I think.
Yeah, I talked to Pogue and Burton this morning about that. Williams, their big guy, had about 40 points on us, so that's going to be the obstacle with that. But I hope they can keep it going and get Kentucky tomorrow. That'd be an entertaining tournament.
Yeah, no. What? So Vandy's 4.5 is what it is. So I'm laying the points on Vandy 100%.
Okay. Did you have Vandy in 17 innings last night? Did you take that bet?
I didn't. I thought about 16, but I decided to stay away. And what a game last night. 2-1 finish, 17 innings. Did you stay up late for it? The 9 o'clock wasn't that late, I guess.
It wasn't too late. Well, that's kind of late for an old man like me. But no, baseball's crazy. I mean, the day before they, win big over Tech, and the next day it looks like they can't hit the ball. But pitching is just, I think they had like 25 strikeouts. So that's just how it works. And then move on to the weekend. But I did, I heard the stat in 14, they lost Austin Peay during the regular season. In 19, they lost to, I think it was Tennessee Tech, one or the other. So anyway, just shows the 2 years they won the national championship. Doesn't mean as much as midweek games aren't, indication of how the whole season's going to go.
Yeah. No, it's there's a lot. They're a young team that is still trying to kind of feel its way around, and it's good. That game last night's a good thing to go through, I think, in my opinion. It's not fun for the producer, or the people working the game and stuff like that, but for the team, it's good to see that sort of thing. And Tim Corbin's going to take some real lessons out of that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you love seeing all the pitching, and especially I think it's about 25, 30 degrees. So I'm sure everybody's a little chilly, but y'all have a good weekend. Anchor down, boys.
Hey, appreciate it, Steve. 615-844-5600 if you want to get in. All right, let's restart here, huh? You want to do that, Devlin? Let's get into our keeping it safe picks of the week.
Time now for the Keeping You Safe Pick of the Week, brought to you by Austin Hardy, State Farm Insurance.
The real safe pick, as always, is Austin Hardy, State Farm Insurance Agent. We'll talk about him in just a moment. Last week, Devlin, we went 50. We did two each, and we went 50%. You hit on the Clippers +7.
Mm-hmm.
You missed on the Lakers outright.
Lived and died by the Lakers, or by LA.
LA, just with you all the way. I went 50%. Auburn against Tennessee was,
that was easy. That was
pardon the pun. It was a layup.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Now Cyril Gahn going up against John Jones was an absolute mistake. But I admitted on air, heart pick, because I was like, I want John Jones to win, but I'm gonna bet against him. So either way, I win.
Just like hedged yourself. Almost.
Yeah. So, technically, it's like I was 1.5 right. Is what I'm going to say.
You got a win out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
A win out of the loss.
Where are you wanting to start with your picks?
Both my picks are NBA. I'm an NBA guy. That's
you
what
are.
I do around here.
Love basketball.
50% better. I'd say that's pretty decent. Sometimes 60. But tonight, we're going to go with both TNT games that are on, Grizzlies and Golden State. I believe this one is in Memphis. Doesn't matter. Warriors are going to run away with this one. Grizzlies lose Steven Adams, and they lose a million games in a row. Now they're out both Steven Adams and Ja Morant for the foreseeable future. I think Golden State right now is in a must-win position to try to keep themselves in the playoff picture. So I'm gonna take Golden State. I'm gonna take their spread here, 2.5.
2.5. Yeah. Memphis just lost to the Lakers.
Yeah, by like 10.
Not good.
No,
not good. Yeah. So that one seems simple to me. I'm going to take Auburn tonight, taking them against Arkansas +2.5. Bruce Pearl shows up in the SEC championship. He just has. Auburn's been a team when they come in the games they need to win, they show up, man. Arkansas has been a weird team too all season. A lot of people question Arkansas and what they did, especially near the end of the season. So I'm going to take Auburn 2.5 is what I'm going to take in this one.
I think, we've heard it here live on air that he can fire up a team.
I almost want to just play that just because that's so good. Joke! What was he saying at the beginning?
I forget the first one.
Oh, I'm tired of seeing my guys get smashed.
Yeah, smashed. That was
smashed.
Yeah,
that's how he said it. They're getting smashed down there.
And then you turn around and won.
Yeah, beat the hell out of Tennessee.
Easy.
Knew it. Knew that was going to happen last game of the season. So yeah, taking Auburn has not done me wrong yet. So I'm going to go with Auburn.
Smart. That's safe.
We're keeping the 2 per. So who's your next one?
The other TNT game, the late night game, it's going to be the Knicks versus the Sacramento Kings. I honestly don't.
The only way that I would watch the Knicks and the Sacramento Kings is betting. That's the only reason why.
Honestly, yeah, pretty much. And then also the TNT broadcast is like really good.
True.
But I don't really understand this. I believe the line right now is at 2.5 for Sacramento. Sacramento's a really good team. The Knicks aren't bad, but I don't think they're going to compete with Sacramento in Sacramento on a national broadcast. So I don't know why this seems easy to me. It kind of scares me that I'm very confident in this pick, but I'm taking Sacramento 2.5. That's terrifying. It's almost when you're so confident, you're like, there's no way. It almost just seems too good to be true. Maybe I should fade myself.
See, this is Devlin's downfall right here.
I'm overthinking it.
They're overthinking it.
Yeah.
Just go with your first thought.
Sacramento.
Sacramento all the way. It was always Sacramento.
It was.
I want to do another basketball one. I do. I thought about doing the Preds. Preds are taking on Arizona, I believe, on the road, I would assume.
They're doing really well on this road trip they're on right now.
So I don't. Yeah, they've been winning.
I was gonna say, yeah.
They shouldn't be. All the reason to lose is there, but they won't do it. So, I'm gonna stick with basketball. I'm gonna stick with the SEC tournament, and I'm gonna stick with my gut. And my gut tells me Vanderbilt
points.
Mm-hmm. I was saying that. I was saying that with Steve when he called in. Vandy 4.5 tonight against LSU. I think they just obliterate LSU. I don't know why I think that. I don't know if that's a good idea. This is all a feel to me tonight on these picks. So take that with the grain of salt or whatever the phrase is. Just know that I believe Vanderbilt is going to run away with this one tonight. And then I think it's all going to end against Kentucky. That's how if I'm picking the tournament going forward, and we could even, the odds aren't out obviously yet because Vanderbilt has to win first before they start to face Kentucky. But that's I think they lose against Kentucky, and that's how their season ends. And they go maybe an NIT bid, and that's it.
Is there a narrative that this is like almost a revenge game for Vandy and LSU?
It has to be. I mean, it's sad to say a revenge against one of the worst teams in the conference.
But they did.
They could have went 9-9, and had they won that, look, because that's the thing. Blake Lovell came on and told us and broke down the whole net rankings and everything. The LSU game that they lost was worth more than beating Kentucky.
Yeah.
That game was worth more to them in the net rankings than beating Kentucky, which they obviously beat Kentucky too, but still, had they just beat LSU, and that's what a lot of Vandy fans keep saying. They watch them beat Kentucky and they win these games, and they just say, "How did we lose to LSU? How did that happen? How do you win against Kentucky, win against Tennessee, and lose to LSU out of all these teams?" So I think maybe there's not like a narrative being built up of this needs to be a revenge game. I just think the team is going to think it's a revenge game.
I think that should be a narrative in
the
locker
what I mean?
room, yeah.
Yeah, you lost to your little brother in ping pong.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because you were on your phone or something like that, and then he just started talking smack to you. You're like, oh, this kid's about to get it. That's how I think this thought is going on right now. So yeah, I've got LSU. The over under in that game is 141.5. Give me the under. That's not official on this on the Keep It Safe picks, but I like the under in this one. I think it's just going to be heavy Vandy offense early, and then they're just going to coast along a large lead. It's gonna feel good for Vandy fans. That's my thought on that one.
Chew clock, second half.
Chew clock, exactly. The real safe pick, though, out of all these picks, it's Austin Hardy, State Farm Insurance Agent, 7110 Town Center Way, Suite 1 in Brentwood. You can give them a call, 615-810-9999. And look, the days happen. Those days happen. When those days happen, you want to insure an agent that's going to be fighting for you, by your side, right after the storm, wants you there with you. That's who you want. And that's what Austin Hardy is, a young guy in the business trying to make his way in here and trying to prove himself. He wants to help you out. He wants to, and not just past all those days, right? Your auto, your home, also your life insurance. That's huge. You don't have life insurance, you need to call Austin. You need to call Austin quickly. But past that, financial advice, all those kind of things, Austin Hardy, State Farm Insurance Agent. Check him out online at insuredwithaustin.com. That's Austin Hardy, State Farm Insurance.
This has been your Keeping You Safe pick. The real safe pick you can choose is Austin Hardy with State Farm Insurance for home and auto. Give Austin a call at 615-810-9999.
Afternoon, pretty busy out here on the South Loop, the West Loop. Give yourself extra time south of town, down through Brentwood, Franklin. It really wants to slow on 65, down around 840 in there. In that section of Spring Hill, steady flow of traffic 24 out through Murfreesboro, making your way through Rutherford County this afternoon. Hey, Nash Painting services all in Middle Tennessee. Ask about their vapor blaster that removes paint without the dust damaging the house. Check this out at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers.
Bundling home and car insurance with Geico is so easy, your neighbors are probably already doing it. But who? They may drop little hints like,
beautiful day out. Even more beautiful since we saved by bundling our home and car insurance with Geico.
Or,
yard work is hard. Much harder than bundling with Geico, which was easy.
Or it may be even subtler, like,
speaking of burgers, we bundled our home and car insurance with Geico and saved a bunch of money.
Bundling is easy with Geico. Just ask your neighbors.
In uncertain times, you can be certain of this. The Salvation Army is serving those most in need with help and hope. Thanks to your donations, the Salvation Army is helping those affected by COVID-19, those who've lost wages, who have no home to retreat to, who need food, help with utilities, and most of all, hope. To see how you can continue to make a difference, visit GiveWestwood.org. GiveWestwood.org.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. The package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
This is the Greg Pogue and John Burton Show.
Your content is that Amy went to Mike and said, is this guy okay with you? And he gave it the stamp.
I sure hope that she went to Vrabel and got his input about Carthon.
Oh, I'm sure she did. But, I mean, you know, you're saying if he said, no, I don't like this guy, keep looking.
Yep.
She would have kept looking.
No doubt in my mind, Patton. Totally agree. Yeah.
Greg Pogue and News Channel 5's John Burton. WNSR. Nashville Sports Radio.
The show that would make visiting aliens blow up our planet. The Afternoon Stretch.
that kind of fun stuff. What was your thought when you saw Jerry Stackhouse as the co-coach of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that surprised. I mean, I think I said this a couple days ago. I think you could have made the case for 4 guys this year, and I don't remember how many years recently we've been able to say that. I think it's usually been a pretty clear-cut deal, but I was curious if he would be included because I think you could have made the argument for him. Obviously kind of sharing the honors with Buzz Williams at Texas A&M, who I thought would be the one that would win it by itself. But, I'm not going to, be upset about it just because I think it's, even if you're not a Vandy fan, I mean, it's one where look at what he's done. I mean, he's led them to that kind of record and put them in a position that they're in right now. And so I think you'd absolutely argue that he's Coach of the Year material. We could have said certainly Nate Oates at Alabama. I mean, they're going to be a number 1 seed. Dennis Gates at Missouri. But yeah, this was a really good year for candidates. And so for him to be in there with Buzz Williams, that definitely says something about what I think his peers think of him, since this is a coach's voted type award. So.
Do you think you should have been Because I went back and looked at a lot of these awards, and it seems like Vandy gets a lot of co-awards with their coaches. I think the last 2 was Kevin Stallings, and they were both co with other coaches in the Southeast. Doesn't seem like Vandy. I think the last one was Fogel. I'm forgetting his first name, I think, but
Eddie Fogler.
Yeah, Fogler. Rick Fogel is from what is that? McLovin from. That's Fogel, but
I think he got the award too.
Yeah, so he was alone. He was the sole awarded, but Jerry Stackhouse gets the co. Do you feel like Buzz? And I saw USA Today, they put Nate Oates as not Nate Oates, Missouri's head coach up there. Yeah. So it does seem like it was a tight race this year.
Well, I mean, I don't get a vote. I always say that. It's like, this is a coach's vote. I like to always make that clear because you know how this works. Sometimes on Twitter I'll put this out there, and people think that I am, like, voting for the SEC. That's not how this works. But I would have voted Dennis Gates at Missouri because I think when you look at just kind of the roster itself and basically had a ton of new guys came in and, they were picked in the lower part just like Vanderbilt was. And, again, both of those teams overachieved. So I think you can make an argument for either guy, and I'm not surprised that Nate Oates would get that award either because, I mean, again, look at what they did this season. I mean, it is certainly a very impressive feat for a team that was picked, 4th or 5th in the SEC. So, I mean, the whole thing with voting, and I'll tell you this, just as someone just saw, like, I
our system, and like I said, my staff does a great job of cultivating a team on a daily basis every single day.
You had a good job at Winthrop, and now you've had a lot of success this year at the College of Charleston, your second year in. Was there at all any apprehension to go to the College of Charleston, or what made that the right fit for you where you said, okay, I'm going to leave something that's working to go try something else?
Well, I'm so thankful for my time at Winthrop. It's a special place. It's a tradition-rich program. The city of Rock Hill is, I believe, one of the best places in the country to raise a family, and that's what we did for close to a decade. And the institution was so good to me. The city of Rock Hill was so good. And we'll look back on that as one of the greatest periods of our life. My wife and I talk about it all the time. To have a challenge was exciting to us after being there for a decade. And
good afternoon. Still a steady flow of traffic now on 24 eastbound, let's say from Briley Parkway all the way out into Murfreesboro, running slow through Laverne and Smyrna as well as you head out to 840. Just normal right now if you want to call it that. I-40 through the Mount Juliet area as it increases through Wilson County. Still a bit heavy over here on 440 eastbound, especially right at the 65 interchange. Nash Painting services all of Middle Tennessee. Hey, ask about their vapor blaster that removes paint without dust damaging the house. Check this out online at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. Hey, small business owner, when's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But some don't check their rate often. Did you know rates can vary? In fact, taking 3 minutes to check your rate with Pi Insurance could save you up to 30%. Just go to iwantpie.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for you with no hassle or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could save you money. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at iwantpie.com. That's iwantpie.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
Hey Nashville, start your day the right way with Bongo Java Cafe, located in the lobby of the Omni Nashville Hotel. Bongo Java is Nashville's oldest local coffee company. Get your day started with a freshly baked muffin and wash it down with a hot cup of dark roast or hair of the dog blend. With free Wi-Fi, you can get some work done while enjoying a toasted breakfast sandwich. Beat the traffic, treat yourself at Bongo Java Cafe, located in the lobby of the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown Music City.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Staunch Titans fan, season ticket holder, Tim Kelly as OC. Your reaction?
Oh, I hate that so much. Oh, I hate that so. Well, all right, some more tight end bubble screens, right? This sucks, man. Yeah, this is live reaction, dude. I had no idea. Yeah, that's trash, man. I hate it.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
The Afternoon Stretch, the show endorsed by News Channel 5's John Burton.
You heard it here. John Burton's favorite show, The Afternoon Stretch. We're back. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600. We want to hear from you. Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams. Everything's copacetic now, baby. It's just how it goes. It's how it be sometimes, Devlin.
They do be like that
live
occasionally.
Radio, you know?
We're doing it.
That's what happens. But we're glad. SC tournament's back. I'm excited for that tonight. I am. I'm excited to see Vanderbilt. We talked about it a little bit with the keeping it safe picks. I want to switch over to the conversation, though. Adam Scheffner just threw out a tweet. I threw a whistle out there when I said Scheffner. Did you hear that?
Yeah, just a little S in
there. Adam Scheffner. I couldn't do it again. Scheffner. There it is.
There it was.
Yeah. Is that the Family Guy guy?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but yeah. Little Titans news that dropped out here. From Adam Scheffner on Twitter, Titans cannot release Bud Dupree until the start of the league year, March 15th, due to his remaining guaranteed salary, but they plan to release him then. The move will save the Tennessee Titans $9.35 million against their cap. The Titans are making a lot of moves.
Are they?
Yes.
Huh.
They've all been so far kicking people off teams.
Yeah.
But what they've done is they've thrusted themselves into top 10 of cap space in the league, that's a great place to be at. And you're the 11th pick. It's starting to feel like with Rand Carthon that there is an opportunity. I think I'm going to come around eventually. I really do believe that I'm going to come around because I can see it in the future with what we're starting to see here, moving on for certain players, getting capital to then spend. Because that's the whole thing, right? You're going to use your cap. You want to use your cap, especially for this year and in the coming years. You're not going to re-sign Henry. I don't think that happens. You're not going to re-sign Tannehill anymore. Those are either you're going to move on from this offseason or you're going to move on from when their contracts are out, for sure. That's going to happen. There is definite holes on the Tennessee Titans team and offense specifically that have to be met. Their offensive line, who knows? Ben Jones may retire. That may happen. And if that happens, then it really feels like you have nobody. You have Nicholas Petit-Ferrier over on the right tackle spot, which I think he was good. He was serviceable to good for the Tennessee Titans in this last season. Nate Davis, the right guard, he's good. He's not a top end. He may make a jump. Who knows? But even his contract's going to be coming up soon. And they have a history of not picking up contracts just in general. But the rest of that offensive line, if you don't have if Ben Jones does retire, because there's a big threat that Ben Jones retires, that whole left side, center on, no more Taylor Lewan, you have to figure it out. There are some names out there that you want to get, depending on what you do with your draft. Here in the league official start, whatever, March 15th, that's happening in what? That's 6 days that we have that. So the news is really going to get moving pretty quick. But they're going to have to pick up some different players. Offensive tackles that are right now that are free agents, we've looked at this before. There are some that are out there. There are some that, names have been talked about and whispered about and said, okay, this is who people would like to see, all that kind of junk. There's a million names out there. I think they still tackle their left tackle spot in the draft, taking Paris
Johnson
Jr. So I still think that's where they are. If they are completely set and saying we're wanting to build on the future and we're not trading up in the draft, we're not going after the quarterback, we're not going after that name, we're going to go off to the left tackle spot, I think they for sure do. If they don't, Mike McGlinchey out of San Francisco, that becomes a very targeted name, 28 years old. He's been in a system for the 49ers that is favorable, at least, or they show signs of what the Tennessee Titans are going to do with them. A very run-heavy centric team, a little bit different running styles, a little bit different, but still, he played primarily right tackle, but you can move him over to the left tackle. You'd have to pay up for him. You're going to pay about $14 million a year for McGlinchey, but that could be a name that you could see the Titans going after if they don't go after Paris Johnson Jr. There's some people that would say, take Paris Johnson Jr. and take him, and let Paris Johnson kind of learn, or maybe he plays the right tackle spot, or vice versa, or whatever. But I think that's probably the name that you would more than likely see the Titans go after. A couple other ones that are coming out. Obviously, Donovan Smith just popped out from the Bucs. He got released from the Bucs, I believe, earlier this week. That name, people have been ever since any tackle that's been dropped or moved on or even popped up, Titans fans are jumping on it and latching onto it right away because it's such a need for the team right now. Taylor Lewan left a hole of at least a productive member of a team that knew the system. Orlando Brown Jr., you're not going to be able to afford Orlando Brown Jr. That's not going to happen. Orlando Brown Jr. is going way out of your price range here. I can tell you that much right now. Orlando Brown Jr. is going to set the market. I think Spot Rack is giving, or Spotrac, I never know what that website, I don't know how to say the name. They're saying $22.5 million a year is what he's getting, which when you're protecting Patrick Mahomes, you get that kind of money. You're allowed that kind of money. I don't know. I don't know where they go. I think it's going to be, no matter what, we're going to see the draft pick still there at the 11.
I was going to say, I do have a scenario. So let's say we do.
Scenario.
Whatever.
I don't know. I don't know which one's right, honestly.
Anyway, let's say Titans they're at 11. Paris Johnson gets taken early. Now, yeah, I feel like you have three options here. You either trade back, you take best overall at 11, whoever that might be, receiver, who knows, or do you reach on a tackle who should go lower?
Well, I think a lot of people would say the Skoronski pick, right? Like there's been a lot of people that have they have him ranked up above, but for some reason he's back behind in the drafting for Paris Johnson Jr. Broderick Jones out of Georgia, that's one. And then who's the other guy out of Ohio State? DeJuan Jones.
Yeah,
that's the other name that a lot of Titans fans are throwing out there right now.
What are they worth an 11?
I don't know if they're worth an 11.
Do you trade back? Paris Johnson, I think, is.
People always want to get traded back. Every year, whatever the draft is, they're always like, trade back. This should be the perfect time to trade back. If you don't get Paris Johnson, I would say, yeah, probably the smart move is to trade back. See if you can accumulate. It just depends, though. At 11, who's moving up? What are you trading back to? How far are you trading back, right? You're not going to trade back into the first round, I don't think, unless somebody sees a guy that's fallen, and I don't think they're going to trade back into the first. I think DeJuan Jones, he probably goes in the second.
Yeah.
So you're skipping over a couple different names through there that you hope he's still there. The real answer that nobody wants to say or would like is probably reach. You probably do reach because it is important that you get somebody to build on.
It's that pick range right there. I feel like there's top 10 and then like I'd say 11 to about 18, 19. Is just you're potentially reaching on players.
Yeah.
And I think anything below that there's value.
I agree 100%. Let's go to the phone lines. If you want to jump in, if you have a thought about this, 615-844-5600. We want to hear from you. Let's go to Eric in Nashville. Eric, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great, Zach. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, buddy.
You were talking about Orlando Brown. You're right. I think he is going to set the market. Whether or not the Titans are going to go that high, I don't know if they will or not, guys, because Kansas City said they're not going to put the franchise tag on him, so they're going to let him shop around, and I definitely think he's going to make a killing wherever he goes. And they've also talked about releasing, I think, the defensive end, I guess it's Fred Clark, that they're not bringing him back. So, that's just some of the moves that teams have to make, especially when you're the Super Bowl champion. But I wanted to also throw this out. You may or may not have heard about this. Of course, this happened earlier today. Did you know that the Rams reportedly are shopping Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, so I saw that news. That came out on the Pat McAfee show earlier today. I believe it was Lombardi who came out and said that.
Yeah.
The other news that followed up with that, I saw this. It was a beat reporter or whoever it was in the area said this was Jordan. I'm not going to say her name right. Jordan Rodrigue. I may have said that wrong. This was quotes from Les Snead talking about the Rams quarterback situation. He said, we're going to definitely rely on Matthew. He's definitely one of our pillars. He's definitely somebody we're going to rely as we remodel this, saying that he's going to remodel because they aren't bulldozing the house down. So they're saying, and then he went on to say that Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald are weight-bearing walls. This guy really went into the construction theme for these conversations.
Yeah.
But so I think that kind of refuted it a little bit. But once again, this is that I talk about this all the time, Eric. You probably hear this. Everybody has a price. Everybody has a price. And if you're a GM, you're ridiculous for not finding out what somebody might give you for Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. This thing, of course, the Rams are going to be making a ton of moves because they already released Bobby Wagner. There's talk they're not going to bring back Allen Robinson. They're trying to trade Jalen Ramsey. And, of course, Matthew Stafford only been there like 2 years. But, hey, they feel like real expensive contract. You have to wonder if they're going to bring back Baker Mayfield or, because I know they want to try and cut payroll. But their thing, of course, everybody said when they won the Super Bowl, they're the dynasty. It seems like every year after a team wins the Super Bowl, somebody says it's a dynasty, but it doesn't happen. I mean, Kansas City is probably the closest thing to it. I think it's going to be tougher for them, especially with the moves they have to make. It's just the salary cap and everything. So we'll see how all that's going to shake out. But I don't think they're going to get for Matthew Stafford what they gave up for him, which was first-round draft picks and all that. But it's just going to be interesting where Stafford go. But it's also going to be interesting because he's had, of course, this issue with concussions. A lot of people thought he was going to retire, but he said, no, I'm not retiring. I'm coming back. So you have to worry about his health and everything.
Yeah, no, and think about it from the Rams side, too. You did give up a lot for him. You're not going to get a lot back, but you got a Super Bowl. You got a Super Bowl out of him. I mean, your favorite team, Eric, you're a Titans fan. Would you be happy if you gave up the house for Aaron Rodgers. Not that I think that's going to happen or anything, but you give up the house for Aaron Rodgers, you're going to pay him that $54 million, whatever market, and you win a Super Bowl this year?
Well, if I really thought that was going to happen, I probably would, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Plus, the fact is, I would have probably done this for something like that about 5 years ago. We're talking about a guy who's 39. Even if you do that, what's the guarantee he's going to play after this year? I think the longest he's going to play is 2 more years. Because you would like to, if you did something like that for a guy to play several years, not just 1 or 2, and that's the problem. And with all the other issues like with offensive line and receiver and just everything like that, it's just you just don't know what you would be getting. And also, if he'd be all in, would he show up early and be willing to work out with the players? Because that's his history, is just not to come to OTAs, and you don't want to trade for a guy and then him not show up to OTAs because he just says, well, I don't have to be here, which is true, it's voluntary, but you would think if he would do something like that, whatever team he went to, that he won't show up, work with his receivers, and get on the same page, because I think certainly that kind of hurt them last year with the Packers, because they didn't start to pick it up until like later on towards the season, so that was an issue. Guys, I'll get off. Y'all take care. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again soon.
I appreciate it, Eric. No, I mean, you bring up good points, but the point still remains, too. You know, Bruno and I have talked about this a million times. I think that there's a real thought of it. Would you sell out your team's future for a Super Bowl right now, right? Would you do that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you would, because you're a Browns fan.
Of course.
You would sell out the entire city of Cincinnati. Or sorry, where is it from? Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
You would sell out all of Cleveland just to, get that one Super Bowl. But the Rams did it. They won the Super Bowl, and then they went the next year, and it was one of the worst. It was the worst of a defending Super Bowl team for a season that they had. And the only bright spot came when Baker Mayfield showed up. That was the only bright spot of that whole season.
Big deal.
Just because he planted the flag, man.
I hate the guy, yeah.
Oh, man. Won y'all a playoff game. There you go. Beat the Steelers in the playoffs.
Congrats. Beat Big Ben. Was that Mason Rudolph? I don't even remember because I don't even care.
I think it was Big Ben.
I think it was Big Ben, yeah.
But still, it's would you sell out that future? And that's the conversation for the Rams that I think they answered an obvious yes, a resounding yes, and they're suffering for it now. But you had the Super Bowl, you got that Super Bowl. I think a team like the Chiefs, a team like the Steelers, a team like the Cowboys that have had the Super Bowl runs, have had the Super Bowls in their history at least. You can look back as a fan and say, well, we won all these Super Bowls. They don't want to ruin their chances of getting a Super Bowl or their future or anything like that. Titans fans, though, who are hungry for the Super Bowl, another chance to go back to the Super Bowl, I think how much money does this team got to pay? If they have to pay $150 million, if you knew the Titans were going to take $150 million and give it to one guy, but it guaranteed you a Super Bowl this next year, but you're going to have 5 years that you're terrible after that year, would you do it? I think every Titans fan, you wouldn't have to call into this show. You wouldn't have to put a microphone in front of anybody. You just open your window and you would hear people screaming, yes, as loud as they could. You would know because they won it. A team like the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Texans, the Cardinals, the Lions, they would, ruin our future for a win now. They would want that.
I think it's one thing to mention, too. The Rams front office, they knew exactly what was going to happen when they did all that, got rid of all those picks, brought in all these guys to win this one Super Bowl. I think they also considered the fact that after they won it, if they did do bad, they don't have a fan base that would care.
Yeah.
This is front office. They got a Super Bowl win. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Your fans don't care for the remaining next 5 years. So clean house, gut the entire team, get some picks back, build off of that. Maybe get another one in 6 years. Again, your fan base does not care.
That's an interesting thought too, because that is true.
That Super Bowl was a social gathering.
It was.
All of their games are social gatherings.
Do you think Kim Kardashian really cared about what was happening on that field?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
She didn't, I bet.
Go to a Philly game thinking it's a social gathering, you're out of your mind.
So, I mean, yeah, no, that's a good point. That is something that I think you can think about and say, okay, this is happening.
Like, as a franchise, because, I mean, if you're thinking about the future of your fans, too, I think the Rams were well aware that their fan base isn't strong enough to really, set the pitchforks out for the next 5 years after that Super Bowl win. Because to be honest with you, I mean, if you go back and look at interviews on the street after that Super Bowl win, those guys really didn't care much.
No,
They
didn't. It was the bus route was 2 stops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't. They weren't going down Rodeo Drive or anything. No. And same for the Chargers too. Frankly, they don't have fans
it's the
either.
same thing. I mean, like before the whole new stadium, I think the Chargers were the worst fan base in the NFL.
Yeah, and then they moved to the LA, or they moved to LA,
right, San Diego.
Yeah, and then it was just the same.
Yeah,
they were like,
changed.
$5 billion stadium we're gonna play in, and they're like, so
it's amazing. You go up a little bit further and you go to San Francisco, and that fan base would die for that team.
Yeah, no, they would have. But I think the Super Bowl hungry teams want that. But you're right. The Rams, they're in that situation. Who cares? I bet you could walk around LA and walk up to somebody who is wearing a Rams jersey. First off, you probably have to take a while to find them.
Oh, yeah.
Walk up to that person wearing a jersey and ask them, who is your running back? Who is the Rams running back now? And they would not know what to say.
No.
They'd be like Todd Gurley. Like, that's what they would say. They would not, I guarantee you they would not say Cam Akers.
No.
They would have no clue who Cam Akers is.
I don't even think they would say Darrell Henderson. I just
genuinely
think they wouldn't know.
Malcolm Brown?
Yeah.
Like, they don't know. So, no, for sure. Not gonna. That place is crazy. That place is crazy. And being the sports, like, mecca of major money
teams,
and
it's a big market.
Number 1 market, I believe. They're the number 1 market, or number 2, if anything. And the people living there could care less.
I know. I don't really know if there is like a diehard fan base in LA. Dodgers maybe.
Dodgers.
Lakers.
Dodgers are pretty diehard. Lakers are pretty diehard.
There's not much of a football market there at all, which is wild to me.
Yeah. The
really
biggest
weird.
sport there, the one that makes the most money, is not the popular team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the rest of the NFL, I mean, are Titans fans really complaining if they ruin their future but win a Super Bowl next year? Not going to happen, but I just don't think people are. I don't think people are going to be like, you know what? I want 5 to 10 years of good, solid play and competitive play and no Super Bowl.
Slim chance of one. Very slim.
Slim chance. Very slim. Or guaranteed a 1 year of just hellacious throwdown wins, and you take it to the Super Bowl and you win the whole dadgum thing. Titans fans would be lining up.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying that's, that's not going to happen, right? Like, we're not in that situation by any means. There's no situation that Titans fans can sit there and say, oh, we might get that guy. That guy's not out there. Lamar Jackson, he might be the biggest name out there of quarterbacks left. You have Aaron Rodgers as well. Both of those guys are not winning you a Super Bowl with this team right now.
There's no foundation.
There's no foundation, but regardless, it's just not going to happen.
No.
The talent around them is just so bad. I think they have holes. I don't think the holes prevent them from going after that, like, franchise QB, whoever that is. I think you can still do it with trying to build your team and say we're going to build around this guy. You can definitely do that. But the talent around them is just so bad that, the Titans are to win a Super Bowl 2 years from now, 3 at the most, is back to their window. But that's the good and bad thing, right? Like, I say this all the time, too. Rebuilding is not a bad thing. Like, people hear that and they think, 5 years of bad teams. No, that's not. It doesn't take 5 years.
No.
The NFL, you could do it in a year. That Rams team, they got Matthew Stafford. They were back in the Super Bowl. They won it. The Bengals that they played in that Super Bowl were
a year and a half,
3-win team the year before, right? And they were in the Super Bowl that year.
Mm-hmm.
It could turn around very quick. Philadelphia Eagles, they were just in the Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs. And they were terrible 2 years ago. You would have never thought they would be in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback who was up for MVP, was thought to be a running back when they took him. Carson Wentz was the future. Why are you taking a quarterback? I mean, that's how quickly things can change for the better. Outlook is wrong. Outlook is bad. The future of it, though, can be immediate for a team.
The one thing to mention, whenever you said the Eagles and the Bengals, they didn't miss on their drafts.
Right.
They had that just 1 year where they didn't miss on a single pick. If you can do that as a team, no matter how bad you are, you're right back in it.
Look at the Chiefs.
Exactly.
Chiefs with another one. I mean, and that was the Titans' biggest problem for so long. is they were missing on every draft pick. I mean, think about it. They passed up Derrick Henry 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Every team in the NFL, I believe it was every team in the NFL passed on Derrick Henry 3 times. And he's the number 1 back. And people still don't give him credit for being as good as he is.
Well, yeah, value.
And I love Derrick Henry. You hear the promo out there. I think Titans should move on from him. But the time frame where he was top of the world, he was top of the world, man. He was top of the world. So it's about finding that right guy. It's about finding that right piece. And, Joe Burrow was that for the Bengals. Patrick Mahomes was that for the Chiefs. Josh Allen still seems like he could be that for the Bills, even though they haven't won anything. I always feel like I have to gauge my Josh Allen talk.
I just don't like him.
I know. But no, that's the future. That's the future for the Titans. They just got to pick it on the right guy. It's big, man. So much to get into. We're almost out of time here. Hey, coming up March 16th, I want to put this out there. We're going to be at Play It Again Sports in Hendersonville live, 4 to 6, doing our show out there. They're going to be giving away a Cleveland RTX Zipcore sand wedge. It's valued at $169. We're going to be giving it away there live at the Hendersonville store. All right. If you haven't been out there yet, go out there, get familiar with it. But if you really want to come out and get you a new golf club for the upcoming season as it's about to start, I mean, basically it's started now, but a brand new sand wedge, we all need one. We all want one. I wish I could win it. $169. We're going to be doing that at Play It Again Sports in Play It Again Sports in Hendersonville on March 16th. We'll be talking more about that. We are done for the day. Grizzlies coming up next. Remember, if nobody's told you, I love you and you matter. We'll see you guys Monday. No show tomorrow. Vandy Baseball taking over for us.